Opening day of MLS tomorrow. Your thoughts on the opener versus
Crowd is going to help spur us to a good performance. We're excited to be home. The game against Santa Tecla was great. It'll be a nice, well, I hope it rains a little bit, but it'll be a nice Sunday to get the regular season kicked off in the right fashion.
challenges against an expansion team that you're only watching tape? There's no real games. They played Sacramento, obviously, but not a ton to scout. What are the challenges there?
Well, challenges are Bob Bradley, a bunch of good players, some familiar players in goal. It'll be interesting for sure, but you know we're expecting a good team, a well-organized team, and you know whoever they put on the field, they'll be excited. That's their first game. You know, there's a little asterisk by the first win ever for LAFC, right? We don't want that to be the Sounders. It should be a good marquee game.
You've been asked this a bunch. Fixture congestion and the challenges there of having so many games.
This game's the most important. We're going to put out a lineup that I think can, you know, hopefully put on a good performance and give us a chance to win.
What advantages and disadvantages come with facing a former goalkeeper that you spent a lot of time with?
Well, we know him intimately, so that's always a good thing. Tommy was the one that, you know, worked him to the point where he got a starting job. So we'll certainly look through all the tape, the training tape, and all that, and you know, see if there's any little nuggets we can take from it.
You talked earlier about you're going to put your best lineup on the field, but I'm sure you also have to be mindful of, you know, that you're competing on multiple fronts. You got to manage minutes. So I mean, to what extent does that factor into things?
Well, it factors into it a lot. You know, the lineup choices we put out there are based on what the coaching staff feels as gives us a good chance to win that particular match. So you might, you know, if you're talking reality, okay, so the lineup we had against Santa Tecla, there was one change that I didn't make for tactical reasons. We came back, we played a strong lineup for the home match. We're going to come back and play a strong lineup for this home match. And then we're going to try and figure out who's really can play all three games and roll them out against Guadalajara. So reality is we need to take each game at a time. The reality is we're going to make assessments as to who feels physically okay, and then whatever tactics we want to throw in there to make some of those final small detail choices, we'll do that as well.
You had some guys that were not quite on the injured list, but were injured enough not to play. Are they getting better? Guys like Torres, for example.
Torres is fine.
Do you take some solace in facing LAFC early in the season before they can get kind of their identity together?
Well, no, because they're going to be fired up because it's their first game, and then we got to play them in our stadium opener. So I don't envy our position, actually.
A week into practice, how have you seen the communication between Kim and that back four? Has the language barrier been a big challenge for him?
He's learning English. We're learning Korean. One word a day. Don't ask me any Korean right now, but no, it's great. Soccer is a universal language. I mean, what he's been through, what he's seen is the same that Roman has seen, the same that Chad Marshall has seen, that Tony's seen. I mean, soccer players that play that position, they're pretty resolute guys. Center backs are always pretty resolute guys, so, you know, should be okay.
Are there positions where it's easier to add a guy quickly?
That's a really good question, Dave. Man, I'd have to think back on history. Certainly, you could talk, if we're talking about the back four, the nuances of playing in a new back four certainly, you know, would cause you to think, hey, he needs some time to fit in with his new partners. You know, sometimes outside backs are easier because they got a job, they've got a sideline, they got a touch line that they can use. Attacking players, I mean, they can be creative and do what they want, and you know, there's no real liability there. So it's a good question. I'll have to think about it.